Welcome back to Criminally Human, where behind every headline is a person, a story, and often a tragedy that didn't have to happen. Tonight, we explore the heartbreaking story of Giovanni Pelletier, an 18-year-old whose desperate plea for help, "Mom, help," went unanswered, leading to a disappearance that shattered a family and left a community searching for answers. Giovanni was born in Florida but grew up in Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina, after moving there with his mother, Bridget, when he was about 4 years old. His childhood was marked by the absence of his biological father, who had been incarcerated since Giovanni was a toddler for the brutal murder of his own parents and 2 siblings. This dark legacy left a void in Giovanni's life, fueling his desire to connect with his paternal family and understand his roots. His mixed heritage deepened this yearning for identity. In the summer of 2025, Giovanni traveled with his mother, her fiancé Jeremy Brown, and his siblings to Englewood, Florida. The trip was partly to visit a relative undergoing chemotherapy, but also to give Giovanni the opportunity to meet his father's family for the first time. In the weeks prior, Giovanni had been communicating with 3 paternal cousins over FaceTime and social media, excited about seeing them in person. On the night of July 31st going into August 1st, Giovanni was picked up by these cousins around 1:30 a.m. for a ride to their home in Mims, Florida. Within 20 to 30 minutes, Giovanni sent a chilling text message to his mother simply saying, "Mom, help." He also made several calls and attempted FaceTime connections with his grandfather and aunt, signaling clear distress. The cousins later told police that Giovanni became erratic after they smoked marijuana, claiming he brandished a knife during an argument and that they left him on the side of State Road 70 in Manatee County. However, Giovanni's family strongly disputes this account. Bridget insists her son was responsible and level-headed, saying he would never leave without his phone or backpack, both of which were found abandoned near the location where he was last seen. The area where his belongings were found is isolated, surrounded by dense woods and marshy terrain with poor lighting at night. A passing truck driver discovered the backpack and his phone hours after Giovanni's last communication. Law enforcement searched the scene but found no signs of a struggle or foul play immediately apparent. The difficult terrain made searching challenging, even with scent tracking dogs and aerial drones. The community quickly rallied around the family. Volunteers, along with a nonprofit called We Are the Essentials, mobilized search efforts. A $25,000 reward was offered, but Bridget and supporters expressed frustration with what they viewed as a slow and insufficient initial response from authorities. After 8 long days, on August 8th, a private search team hired by the family discovered Giovanni's body in a retention pond off the southbound off-ramp of Interstate 75 near State Road 70, close to where his belongings were found. The pond was in a remote, wooded area with wetlands and very little lighting, making rescue and search efforts extremely difficult. Authorities confirmed the body was Giovanni's pending positive identification. An autopsy was conducted, but toxicology and cause of death results were expected to take months. While no immediate signs of trauma or foul play were reported, investigators noted the body had likely been submerged for several days before surfacing, potentially explaining why earlier searches missed it. Retired FBI Special Agent Frank Brostrom noted that investigators are carefully reviewing the cousins' statements to confirm or dispute their claims about Giovanni's behavior that night. Giovanni's mother summed up the family's heartbreak by saying, "We heard his last words, 'Mom, help,' and we weren't there to answer. Every parent's worst nightmare." The investigation remains open, with law enforcement urging anyone with information or dashcam footage from the area to come forward. Giovanni Pelletier's story is a tragic reflection of how family trauma, vulnerability, and the failures of swift response can intersect with devastating consequences. His father's violent past, committing the murder of his own parents and siblings, cast a long shadow over Giovanni's life and search for identity. Giovanni's final plea for help still echoes, a reminder to listen closely to the silent struggles of those around us and to act swiftly when they reach out. In the wake of his death, unanswered questions linger like a heavy fog over Manatee County. Why did his cousin's story shift in subtle but crucial ways? Why were early search efforts limited in the very area where his body was later found? And most haunting of all, what happened in that short, critical window between Giovanni's joyful anticipation of meeting family and his desperate final call for help? Those who knew him say Giovanni was more than a headline. He was a protective big brother, a loyal friend, and a young man on the brink of adulthood whose life was violently interrupted. Until the full truth emerges, his case will stand as a chilling reminder that sometimes the danger doesn't come from strangers lurking in the shadows, it comes from the people you think you can trust. And when you remember that his own father is sitting behind bars for the brutal murders of his own parents and siblings, you can't help but wonder, was Giovanni walking into a family legacy of violence? Did someone carry out a dark plan, perhaps even with the blessing of the man who once destroyed his own bloodline? We will follow this story closely. Until next time, please like and subscribe, but most of all, stay human.